Three blinking race cars and already so much going on. A little impromptu street stock race from the Bristol Motor Speedway. Noah Belleville, Connor Knowlton on the front row. I think this idea for this race came together
green flag.
like what? About a month ago, and then I think like 5 hours ago, Briley Wright texted me and he goes, "Hey, do you want to broadcast this street stock race at Bristol?" And sure, why the hell not? Here we are. And already they go three wide, and I swear to God, after two corners, they've already crashed. There goes Tommy Withers in the Captain Crunch Chevrolet. They gotta throw a yellow for that, right? The driver's meeting, there it is right there. They didn't make it two corners, and already somebody crashed. You can tell this is going to be an awesome evening. If you've just tuned in, you already missed the crash. Landon says, "My favorite commentator? Get out of here. You're too kind, sir. Thank you very much." And shout out to all the folks in Greensburg, Kentucky. I was actually telling my girlfriend today, like, baby, I'm big in Greensburg. Let me tell you, they have played my streams at Smokey's Bar multiple times, and at least 5 people in Greensburg have heard of me, right? So I think I'm bigger in Greensburg than anywhere else on the world. So shout out Greensburg, Kentucky. And speaking of Greensburg, we got what? Cody Riggs and Briley Wright. No, that's Thomas Andrews. There's Briley Wright in the 5-1. And shout out to Cody Riggs with what I think is the most beautiful paint scheme I've ever seen in my entire life. He's got that Joe Dierte number 3 street stock with the Skull Bandit logo on the right front headlight there behind Nashville's Ryan Panel in that 1-2 peak street stock. And then you got Thomas Andrews over here, who's being incorrectly scored as the number 9 because he doesn't know how numbers work. The number 2, Mark Martin, prototype street stock, sitting there in the 7th position here. Matt Kent, who was doing something. I think he played football or something in Taiwan. I'm not sure, but he as you can see, his internet just does not work. So we're going to stay away from him for the evening because he has no idea what he's doing out here. Jason Alexander in a super cool paint scheme. No jokes here. You got to love that. What is that, Bill Elliott or something like that? The number 11 Coors Street stock. He's in the pits doing God knows what because he got caught up in that crap. Let's see what happened there. So green flag comes out, first of all. Here's Jason Alexander. And just watch. First of all, Briley already tags him in the back. And 3 wide, 4 wide. They went 4 wide out of turn number 2 on lap number 1 of this race. One more look. Just have a look here. Briley Wright in that 3 is going to get really tail happy. I say the 3, it's the 51. And yeah, so lap number 1, crash number 1. Back to this race here. I think Noah Belleville's going to take us to the... Nope, the lights are still on atop the pace car. So Lord knows what these guys are doing. Okay, so, all right. The first 6 laps of this race have been run under caution, and mercifully, the lights turn off on the pace car. So I'm really excited to see what comes of this race here in the next, 94 laps to go. Briley says we're going to, Briley Wright in that 5-1, by the way, saying we're going to have a competition caution right here at lap 50-something, so we'll see how this goes. And it's all for fun here tonight. We're just screwing around tonight, so come on in, settle down, and have some fun with us here. Noah Belleville on the front row with Connor Knowlton in the pink and white ARCS street stock on the outside. Wonder who the hell painted that thing. And then Mark Diella in the 54 Skull Bandit. He's sitting to the inside of row 2. Green flag is out. Let's see how far they get this time. What do you know? They made it 1 lap without crashing. Noah Belleville on the outside. Connor Knowlton to the inside in the ARCS machine. There's Alyssa Sharp sitting in 3rd right there. Mark Dialla in the 54. You got Nashville, Tennessee's Ryan Pennell in the 1-2 machine, sparking along the floor. Coming up behind that 5-4. And then Cody Riggs in the Joe Dierte number 3 sits just ahead of Thomas Andrews in that Mark Martin number 2. And Thomas Andrews, who is pretty good with numbers, doesn't know the difference between 2 and 9. So we're going to make fun of him all night for that. Here comes Briley Wright in the 51. Here's another driver who scored incorrectly. A couple of guys that don't know their numbers, and we'll see if they know their way around a steering wheel. 51 to the inside of the 2. They're going to fight it out for the 7th spot. Matt Kent, who's still nowhere to be found. He did this last Thursday night as well. The 31 was blinking all over the place. I think at one point he was invisible throughout an entire crash up until the moment that another driver, Jimmy Kerr, tried to avoid him. And at that moment, he became solid matter. And then Jimmy Kerr tagged him right in the driver's side door. Go check it out. These guys are 2x2, 2 rows deep, and I do not expect this to go well for very long. The 5-1 and the 3 side by side. Landon's in the chat, and Landon knows a thing or two about Greensburg, Kentucky. He says Matt Kent's on the McDonald's Wi-Fi. Between these two, Landon, last Thursday you and I saw Briley actually win in that. You saw Briley win in that 2.9 Goodwrench Chevy. So shout out to Briley. And then the week before that, we actually saw Toby Estes, who hates his friends and decided to not participate tonight. We saw him in the number 8 at Michigan. So Landon, who do you got between Briley, who is scored as the number 3 and is running behind Cody Riggs, who is the number 3, being scored as the number 4. And please tell me why the hell nobody here seems to know the difference between their numbers, as the 2 and the 3 are going to reach out and touch each other, and we'll see just how close they decide to get for the rest of this race. But as I digress, we're going to find out here. And My Ride Life wants a shout out, but he's not going to get one. So the 3 and the 5-1, nose to tail. This is screwing me up so bad here because I think I'm talking about the right driver, but I'll see on the scoring chart that next to the 3, it says Briley Wright, and Briley Wright sits in the 5-1. So this is going to be fun all night. We're going to keep screwing this up. But we're going to let these guys play. Let's see what's going on at the front because we're actually missing good racing. The 4-1's on the outside. You got Alyssa Sharp on the inside in that 1-8, and Connor Knowlton has been leading this entire time on board with the 2. Landon in the chat says Bluegrass Bandits, 2 in a row. That's what they're going to win tonight. He was supposed to drive Toby's rig, and thank God that you're not. I don't think Toby would ever forgive you. And Landon says Cody Riggs needs to beat Briley Wright or they're never speaking again. So an entire friendship on the line with the number 3 of Cody Riggs hanging out in the 5th position. So Cody better pack up that friendship and get ready to send it away. At the front, Connor Knowlton still leads. How about Noah Belleville trying to get to the inside? He's feeling a little bit racy. And shout out to My Ride Life again in that YouTube channel. And shout out to anybody else. If you're here with us, if you're chilling, we're just having some fun tonight with these street stocks at Bristol. And we're glad you can enjoy some of that fun with us. But it actually is turning out to be really good racing amongst this top 3. Let's go on board with Alyssa Sharp. Front 3 starting to spread out a little bit. Landon says, I need a shout out to your TikTok channel. He says, I need you to step it up and be more active. Well, damn, Landon. Fine, maybe I will. We'll see what happens there. Cody Riggs sitting ahead of Tommy Withers by 3 seconds, and Withers watching Nashville's Ryan Pennell come up behind him. And let's do something new while we're just messing around here. Let's see if we can... let's try and, well, Ryan Pennell's not here, so you know what? Let's try and talk to Tommy Withers, because Ryan Pennell chooses not to have fun with us. So let's bother right here. Let's bother Tommy Withers and see what's going on. Tommy Withers, Rick James up top. Can you hear me?
Rick James, hello, sir.
How are you, buddy? I think I just screwed you up. I just put you in the wall in turn number 2. Here comes Nashville's Ryan Pennell. How are you going to defend him?
I don't think he can pass me if I just hold my line right here, but we got a little more damage to fix and run a little hot here, 230 on the water temp, so a little concerned here in the prophecy pit.
Hey, I'll tell you what though. No matter what happens, if you stopped racing tonight, the Captain Crunch Paint scheme is working out for you. And I think if you just finish the race, you'll eventually beat Ryan because he's blinking almost as bad as Kent back there.
Yeah, Captain Crunch is always a fan favorite. Big shout out to them. Let me run their car today, and yeah, the good news about Ryan is I only have to beat him half the time because he's only on the track half the time.
He's holding on in 7th. And Jason Alexander, who is a ton of laps behind, might just catch up with enough cautions. Speaking of cautions, that first lap was nuts. You guys didn't even make it half a lap.
Yeah, not ideal. Got caught up in whatever happened in front of me, so tried to fix it. Get 2 fast repairs this race, so we'll fix her up. Use a lot of them at the end of this.
All right, buddy, have fun.
Yes, sir.
Noah Belleville's cousin in the chat, and shout out to Noah Belleville out there from DeSoto, Missouri. Sounds like nowhere. The 41 sits 0.8 of a second behind Connor Knowlton, and as much fun and as much messing around as we're doing right now, Connor Colton is leading by the biggest margin so far. You got to give it up to him. There's Alyssa Sharp sitting in 3rd. She's in no man's land, 2 seconds behind Noah Belleville. Ryan Panel is dragging a little bit behind here, and now Thomas Andrews wants to catch him up. Oh, is that? Good Lord, that's Briley Wright, who just puts himself in my chat without even asking. Briley Wright's in the pits by his lonesome. Briley, what in the hell happened to you?
Yeah, we got a little bit too much freedom going on there. We got wrecked, I guess. I don't know what happened, but we're out of the Freedom 100, so I figured I'd come up here and watch it with you.
You can, and I mean, I tell you what, you could scream at this point, and I don't think nobody would hear you. But anyway, yeah, absolutely, come around and hang out here. Connor Knowlton still leading this race. Tommy Withers just ahead. No, just behind now. Ryan Panel. Now Thomas Andrews trying to get to him. Now, where's Cody Riggs? Let's see if we can bother him for a quick word. Cody Riggs, how are you now?
Good, and you?
Not so bad. We see that you're back out on the track in the Joe Diertain number 3. Briley Wright saying you got a little too much freedom, and you ended up in the pits. You find yourself 8th out of 11 drivers. What happened?
Yeah, there at the beginning, whatever happened with Ryan, I guess he touched the wall on the outside, and I got into the back of him. Gave me some front end damage, and I was trying to baby it. I was watching my water temp slowly rise through that whole run, and finally just gave out on me. Luckily, I had a couple fast repairs in here, so I was able to pull it right into the pits and get back out here. But yeah, it sucks. Put me a lap or 2 down, and now I'm going to be chasing.
Yeah, we got a competition caution coming up in about 10 laps, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the show, buddy.
All right, man. Thank you.
Connor Knowlton still at the front of this one. 1 second between him and the second position. Tommy Withers now behind Thomas Andrews and Ryan Panel, who are left and right, and the native from Nashville. Looks like he's not available to talk with right now. I wonder why he hates us so much. Let's see if we can bother Thomas Andrews. Thomas Andrews, Briley Wright, and Rick James up top. Can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Buddy, you're sitting in the 9th position watching the 12 and the 6th. Well, there goes the 12. He just disappears into the outside wall. So Ryan Pennell has died and left us. Tommy Withers behind you. Crash on lap number 1, but so far it's been smooth sailing. You're sitting in 9th right now. How's the car?
Terrible. I blew my motor about 14 laps in, so.
Fantastic. All right. Well,
Yeah.
so glad to hear that. We got a competition coming up in about 7 laps, and Connor Knowlton decides he wants to lead by a second. You're now behind Matt Kent, who has the recorded worst internet, I think, this side of the planet. And he hasn't blinked in about a lap and a half, so it's got to be record for him. As far as that goes, I don't know. I think I ran out of stuff to ask you. You having fun?
That's right. The car's really good. Gotta thank the Marlboro guys, just blew the motor. Running really good lap times here. Would love to get a caution so that I could get caught up, but don't know if I'm going to be able to get all my laps back, but we'll see what we could do.
Have fun, buddy.
Thanks.
I
Briley,
think
your
it's
fun
the
ended on
freedom-
lap
it's-
19 here. Go ahead, man.
My fun is over with, but I think these people that are laps down, they should get their laps back, and we should just have a good time here at the Freedom 100, the last 50 laps, and have a good race here. I'm thinking.
I mean, hey, you know, if it's gonna be like whose line, you know, the positions don't. What is it? The rules are made up and the points don't matter. The rules are made up and the positions don't matter. Let's get back in there and let's give these guys their laps back or something. I don't know. How do we do that? Can we give them the wave around?
Yeah, I think we can do it.
Let's give him the wave around. Exiled in the chat as well. He was talking about Matt Kent's internet, but credit to Matt Kent. He's gotten it fixed. So that Yellowstone car now sitting behind Tommy Withers, and these guys get to be really close together. Landon says, you win one race, and now you know everything. But hats off. You are going to end up finishing dead last in this one, so it's going to average out to about a C for you between Thursday's win and this race. Cody Riggs back out on the... Look at him in the Joe Dierte number 3 getting up next to the 60. They're going to still touch and continue to touch each other down the back straight.
Here we go. I'm pulling for that Joe Dierte number 3 right there. Life's a garden, you got to keep on digging it.
Briley, I'm pulling for your microphone to get a lot louder than you are right now. But there's the caution right there halfway into this race. So 51 laps now underway. And if you've just tuned in, you missed one crash on lap number 1. Briley Wright out of this race now in the booth. Cody Riggs and the Joe Dierte number 3. He's going to be our admitted favorite as the evening goes on. And Connor Knowlton comes into the pits. No jokes aside, Connor has dominated the hell out of this race. And Noah Belleville wants to take it to him. Landon asking, where's the competition yellow? Landon, you're watching the competition yellow. So Alyssa Sharp is going to stay out here.
Looks like the 41 missed the pit stall there, so that's going to cost him quite a bit of time.
Right side just came down as the left sides go up for Connor Knowlton. He's going to lose a lot of time, actually. And Alyssa Sharp decides she's not going to come into pit road. Tommy Withers being scored in the 2nd position. There goes Thomas Andrews, who's hopefully going to get all those laps back. So we're going to have another, 40-ish laps here while these guys do their thing?
40-ish laps of freedom.
40-ish laps, free and clear. I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes. But anyway, it is, for those that don't know, or if you're not watching this on Veterans Day, it is Veterans Day here in the United States. And I think, what is it? Most of the modern world at least observed it, or Armistice Day if you're in the British Isles or Canada. So you're going to see a lot of patriotic paint schemes tonight. We're going to hear a lot of USA puns, and we're going to see somebody win a fun little race on Veterans Day here. Connor Knowlton sitting in 6th. I think everybody else is getting their pit stops. So let's see. All right, lights are still on atop the pace car, and everybody's going to get at least a lap back here. So we're going to take a short break. We're going to gather ourselves and get a nice cold drink. You do the same, and we'll be back in 2 minutes with more street stocks from Bristol.
Hang on, we're not going green. Hang on, we're not going green. Hang on, we're not going green.
Back to the Bristol Motor Speedway, ready to go here. Cars getting their laps back. At the front, it looks like Tommy Withers and Alyssa Sharp are currently behind the pace car. Thomas Andrews coming back down pit road to get the car fixed, repaired, doing whatever else he needs to do. Race leader being scored as Mark Diala in that 5-4. Rick James up top with Briley Wright joining him in the booth, and you join us for our little Veterans Day 100, just some street stocks here at Bristol. We're just screwing around. We're just having a good time.
Hang on, we're not going green.
And we're going to waive the caution for the 17th time. Briley, what is wrong with these drivers? Can they not get in the right order?
Absolute debacle, Rick James. I don't know what's going on right now, but I'm having a good time, and I hope you're having a good time, and I hope whoever is watching this is having a good time, because that's what this is all about.
I'm having a fantastic time here. It's going to be a fun little shootout, though. What do we got? We got 2 fast repairs for each of these drivers. We got 2 maximum tire changes. The pit window set to 40 to 50 laps, but there's no feasible way these drivers are going to go 50 laps without wrecking here. So we're inside the 40. We're inside the final 40 laps. As Landon puts in the chat, Rick James, tell Briley he needs to thank me for my service on Veterans Day, no less, Briley. So Landon, expecting a shout out from you sometime now or later.
Landon, I thank you for your service.
Hang on, we're not going
And
green.
the caution gets waived one more time because Landon just had to be thanked there. So, Landon, you're holding us up from Green Flag Racing. We'll see how many more drivers need to get a lap back before we do go green here. But again, thank you. Thanks for coming around. If you're still watching this debacle, this debauchery, this garbage that we've decided to produce for you this evening, thank you so much for coming and having fun with us. Who's in the chat? Mr. Exiled is in the chat. I think Noah Belleville's cousin is in the chat. What? Landon's in the chat. This is actually going to be a fun final 40 laps here.
Oh, this is going to be great. I can't wait to see this. We're going to see some beating and banging. These cars are going to get really, really tight after about 10 to 15 laps, and we're going to see a good race right here.
Connor Knowlton, who dominated, I guess, that first stage or that first phase of racing, if you want to call it.
Green.
Now we're green. Finally, the flag comes out, and Tommy Withers, who got wrecked on lap number 1. Withers just ahead of Noah Belleville, and he's given up the lead immediately. So much for that. Here comes Alyssa Sharp, who leaves the bottom side open. Connor Knowlton's going to get friendly with her rear end. Here comes Tommy Withers on the outside. Belleville to the inside of Knowlton. 3 wide into turn number 1. Here's Cody Riggs in the Joe Dierte car.
Come on, Joe Dierte, let's go.
Look at Connor Knowlton on the outside. The 41 of Noah Belleville to the inside of Knowlton. The Dierte number 3 on the inside line, and they're going to go side by side across the line, and I think that was net code there that just put Belleville out of shape there. 30.
Oh, he gets loose.
8 laps to go.
And you got to dig it. Come on, boy.
Hey, he's got to keep on keeping on, and they've crashed hard. The 60 goes around, Sharp goes around, and then the Dierte car destroyed. And that's going to be the caution coming out here on lap number 64, if I can count, which I can't. So let's see what happened this time around. Well, Briley, they just touched each other a little too hard. I have no idea what happened here. One more look. It looks like it started with the 60 of Tommy Withers.
Yep, just fighting for freedom a little bit too hard there, right there at the Bristol 100, and you'll have that. You know, and it's going to happen. the next 10 laps, next 20 laps. They're all out here fighting hard for this country and for freedom. It's the Freedom 100. So what you expect. Every one of these boys out here want to win this because it's a prestigious prize in ARCS right now.
Not only is it prestigious, but it's the first ever Freedom 100 for the ARCS Street Stocks at Bristol, and I think this idea really, we thought about it about a month ago, but this idea really did become a plan, and we put this into action about 5 hours ago. So for all this to come together in a short period of time, for us to mess around for 100 laps at this joint, this is going to be fantastic.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
We're going to iron out these kinks. You'll have them problems on them big jobs, but if there's something that we know how to handle, it's big jobs, let me tell you. Noah Belleville being scored as the race leader. Connor Knowlton in the second position. Thomas Andrews in third. There's the Dirte number 3. Andrews with Ryan Pennell inside him. That 12 car now having to back off that too. And the 3 Joe Dirte machine just ahead of Alyssa Sharp. So let's go back to that first lap, that first crash. They made it 2 corners, Briley, before they decided to come together.
You'll have that, I'm telling you right now, though, that 41 car looks really good right now. That big old Freedom. I would count that Joe Dirte.
60 going around getting that crash. 41 at the front. Connor Knowlton on just behind him in that number 2. And we're going to have, what, just over 30 laps to go when they cross the line this time, so we'll keep our eyes on top of the pace car. Landon says, quit racing and start commentating. I think Landon really likes what you have to say.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm not the greatest at both, so I'll just keep doing what I can on the racing side, and then maybe one day I'll do the commentating thing, but I'll stick to the racing.
I'm sure if Landon could hear you, he would be very happy. The lights are out atop the pace car. Grandma Jeannie says, Noah, you told me this starts at 9. She just logged in at 9, and they're already on to lap number 60.
Oh, man, Grandma Jean.
Noah Belleville over here disappointed as Nan.
Yeah, getting late to the party here for the Freedom 100. We'll make sure that does not happen next year.
Briley, now
Nope.
you sound better than I've ever heard you this evening. You're
Nobody should be late to the Freedom 100, and I'm really disappointed, and I hate that happened, and we will make sure that does not happen next year.
It absolutely will not happen next year. Guaranteed that next year's Freedom 100, not only will we probably have more than 11 cars as the green flag comes out. Connor Knowlton jumps that start,
Ooh, a
though.
little bit of contact.
Let's see what
go.
happens. 32 laps to go. Matt Kent in the 31. Look at this. 3 wide into turn number 3. The Dirte machine almost making contact with Pelletier Sharp.
Oh, there goes the 2.
Oh, there goes Connor Knowlton. Completely missed that one right there.
I think that's just one car.
Just one
Keep
car.
it
What
green.
happened to Connor
12
Knowlton?
cars loose on the outside. They're wrecking.
And there's a
12
big
car
crash
wreck.
out of turn number 4.
Big
The Dirte
crash.
machine's involved. Pelletier Sharp is involved. Jason Alexander
Put it out. Put it out.
Salem, South Carolina, gets involved in that one as well. Pelletier Sharp in the 1-8. She got a piece of that one. Cody Riggs, once again, the Dirte machine just suffers. And they're talking to my guy all wrong. If they say something like that again, Briley, I'm going to have to stab him in the face with a soldering iron.
Exactly.
Let's see what happened here on lap number 70. Ryan Panel in the 1-2. He's already gone for a spill. Cody Riggs in the Dirte number 3. Look at this, and it starts with Pelletier making contact to the inside of the 12. Nowhere for Panel to go. He gets into the 3. 3 gets into the 11, and then the domino effect once again. And caution comes out. So Noah Belleville at the front of this race. The Noah Belleville who inconvenienced Grandma Jeannie by making her late to this race. And Grandma Jeannie, we do apologize for this grievance, for this inconvenience, and we wholeheartedly offer our sincerest apologies for your grandson's miscommunication. Hopefully he makes it up by winning this race. But Briley, the number 60 of Tommy Withers, sits in second. He might have a chance.
No, he's going to sneak up on him right here. He's looking pretty good, staying consistent. All these other boys right here, they're fighting for. It's that Freedom 100. They want that victory. They want it so bad they're wrecking each other to get it. And I understand. I mean, that's what you want. Yeah, you want to win the Freedom 100 right now. You get your chance right now, and you're not going to have what 25 laps to go here, if that, a little bit less than that. I mean, they're all going to be fighting for it. We're going to see a good race here tonight, and I'm excited for it. I'm fired up. I'm telling you right now, Rick James, I'm fired up for this, and we're going to see a good race.
I'm excited for the final 25 some laps of the Freedom 100 at the Bristol Motor Speedway. And Landon asking, is Briley from Kentucky? Because Lord, he's country. And I would say so, Briley. Little hamlet there called Greensburg, Kentucky. And I was telling Landon earlier, I'm pretty big in Greensburg, Kentucky. This is a conversation I was having with my girlfriend earlier, because Rick James TV has been played over at the prestigious and very illustrious Smokey's Bar many a time, and at least 5 people in Greene County do watch Rick James TV. So I think bigger than anywhere else on the planet is my presence in Greensburg, Kentucky. Shout out to all the folks in Greene County as well, and Doug Norris as well. Wherever Dougie is, hopefully he's staying safe and not doing tricks like we saw him at that corporate meeting in Bristol. But we're not going to put Doug's business out there.
Hang on, we're not going green.
Landon can tell you about that. Cousin Owen trying to make communication with Grandma Jeannie. Grandma Jeannie, if you can hear him, Owen is trying to get your attention. Tell him what's up. 25 laps to go as they cross the line there. I was actually just going to keep tabs on this Georgia Ole Miss score as well. It's now 52-17 Bulldogs over the Rebs. 4:12 to go in that fourth.
Hate to see it.
You hate to see it. West Virginia up against the Sooners. 52-20. Number 17 Oklahoma over West Virginia. Ohio State beating Michigan State by a slim margin of 35 points as the fourth quarter gets underway. Texas and TCU in that same boat. Third quarter comes to a close with the Longhorns over the Horned Frogs 26-6. Green flag about to come out as LSU sits atop of Florida by 3 points with just over 4 minutes to go in that third. And then Duke and North Carolina 14-19 with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. USC and Oregon just got started. Michigan beating Penn State 24-15. That's number 3 defeating number 10. Florida State, unfortunately, getting the win over bitter rivals Miami 27-20.
Big restart here. Let's see what happens.
Green.
No one cares about this restart. It's about college football. No, I'm screwing around. 41.
Ooh, 41 got a big jump.
He got a huge jump. Here comes the 60 of Withers. Knowlton all over the
Oh,
back
there
end.
goes the 18 in the wall.
Sharp is in the wall. Her race might be done. Connor Knowlton getting right into the 18. He had no patience for Sharp, and he turns her right into the wall. Briley, I think that's caution worthy.
I don't know. I didn't see anything else other than that one car. I might have missed something, but it looks like right now we're going to stay green.
We're staying green. Then Connor Knowlton to the inside of the 11. Exiled saying Withers needs to hook Belleville. Withers has to catch up to Belleville first. The 41 sits 0.3 of a second ahead of the 6-0. Knowlton in that
41,
too.
That 41 he's fighting for freedom right now. He's just putting the hammer down, and he's looking right in front of them and right in front of the windshield, and he's just going for it right now. And that Freedom Eagle on the front of his hood is carrying him right now. He's doing all he can.
The 6-0 of Tommy Withers honoring the American legend Captain Crunch, who in 1776 crossed the Delaware River with George Washington. And that's something they won't teach you in school. Captain Crunch was a major part of the Revolutionary War, and that's why we honor him on our boxes of cereal. Noah Belleville.
I'm telling you right now, Captain Crunch he's running the middle. He's running the bottom really good. That 41 car is up on the outside, And I'm telling you right now, Captain Crunch, he's making a move. He's going to make a move right here on the bottom before too much longer.
He's going to
Look
shake
at
the
him.
tail out. He puts 2 tires right on the apron, and he tries to sail to the left-hand side of that Wounded Warrior 41. The 60 of Tommy Withers trying to leave the 41 in the second position. Captain Crunch is getting the leg up on him. 1:06 to go this time, Briley. Here comes the Captain.
Oh, let's go, Captain. Come
No,
on, Cap.
he's got
Oh,
loose
Cap
out of
got
4.
loose. Cap got loose.
Cap gets loose out of turn number 4, but he's going to get another bite out of that cherry. We're going to see what he's got here. 1646, Matt Kent goes green, but he doesn't have the internet to show for it. 41 of Noah Belleville sits ahead of Tommy Withers. 15 to go at the line, Briley. Captain's going to have to get another line on the 41.
Captain's going to have to just regroup here, find his line, get focused. He looks a little bit faster right now. If he can stay focused, he can get up there on the 41 and see a good race to the end here.
On board with Withers in the 6-0, trying to get behind that 41. He's got the inside line, but how will the 41 block him? And there's Noah's cousin, Owen, in the chat, cheering him on. 6-0 to the inside, and he's trying to get on that apron, Briley. Half a car length between him.
That 2 car behind him looks really quick right now, Rick. I'm telling you, he's going to make a move here, and he's going to be right up here with these leaders, and we're going to see a 3-car battle for the lead.
Over the last 5 laps, Connor Knowlton has been steadily catching up to Tommy Withers. Belleville leading, Withers to the inside. Now Knowlton got really aggressive with the nose on that restart, shoving Sharp out of the way. Here's Alyssa Sharp crawling on the racetrack at the speed of smell, and she's going to probably try to get back on the race pace. Knowlton on the outside of Withers. The captain looks like he might be taken on the high side here. Belleville now has to watch his mirrors. For real, Belleville's got to watch his mirrors because Knowlton
She's
dominated
back to
the first half of that
inside
race.
here. That 2-car is rolling right now.
Just cleared that 60 like it wasn't even there.
Captain was gone. Come on, 2-car. We're going to see what we got.
9 at the
Oh,
line.
bumper.
Knowlton almost gets the 60 upset at a turn number 2.
Now, if they keep fighting right here, that 41 car has got it made. They're going to have to figure it out right here behind them. If they don't, then that 41 car is going to be gone.
8 laps to go, and only a caution can save them now if they continue to battle. Withers to the inside. Knowlton wants to get around him. Knowlton almost puts the bumper to the back end of Withers. It goes 4-1-6-0-2, 1-2-3 at the Bristol Motor Speedway. 41 almost gets hooked by the 60, and Exile cheering on for Withers. This is going to be a fun finish here.
Oh, yeah. They're doing everything they can right now. It's such a close race.
Knowlton to the inside of Withers. 41 starting to just open up a little bit of space between them now. 6 to go at the line. Knowlton has a line on Withers. These cars are fun to watch, let me tell you. These cars are great to watch. The 41 off of 2.
That 41 car just has a little bit better exit speed than the 2 cars behind them. And with them racing each other like that, it messes up your entry. You've got somebody behind you. That 41 car is just focusing on what he's doing right now. So this is the best thing that he can see in his mirror, is seeing those 2 cars behind him fighting for second place, trying to get to him, and it's just making him gradually just pull away from those 2 cars behind him.
Knowlton to the inside of Withers, and again they continue to fight, and that's perfect for Belleville. 3 to go this time by, and only a yellow flag could save these 2 if they don't get in a straight line. Knowlton losing ground on Withers, who's on the high side of turn number 2. Belleville driving away with this one, Briley. 2 laps to go.
It looks like he's got it in the bag right now. I don't see them catching up to him at all. As long as he doesn't get 100.
White flag this time by. If a yellow comes out before he hits the line, they've got to restart it. Belleville, Withers, Knowlton, 41 takes the white flag, and it's a race no matter what. Knowlton all over the back end of Withers. Thomas Andrews waiting for something to happen in the 4th position. Off turn number 2, there's the contact. There's Belleville. Oh my gosh, does he have a run? Out of turn number 4, Withers is going to just...
2 cars going to get second place.
Oh, 3/10 of a second.
race.
How about that? 1/100th of a second 3/10 the gap at the line. Let's go back to that white flag. Let's check out the race between Knowlton and Withers. Watch this. 1/100th of a second at the line for second place. Are you kidding me? Look at Withers. He throws the block at it too, but he keeps the car moving in the right direction. Here comes Knowlton on the outside. 1/100, literally by a nose, by the point of that nose. 1/100th of a second was the gap. Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to have top three in just a minute. On the podium now after a crazy fun race at Bristol. I mean, for screwing around, we had a pretty good time here. We got third place in the house. Tommy Withers, Briley Wright, you got the man who finished with the bronze medal.
A little bit short in the Freedom 100 there, but it had a good chance at it. We really thought that you was going to take it there. What happened there at the end of the last 20 laps?
Well, first of all, gonna go to sleep in American, so it's all good here in the Freedom 100. Thank you everybody for your service. But we fought hard. Last 20 laps was tough, dealing with Noah and then Connor behind me. So I got a couple shots at Moldy. That was a couple times where I could have easily have given him the little touch on the left rear, but I raced him clean. It was just nice to get a chance to race for a win for once.
Well, I tell you what, Withers, next time you're going to have to do it for Dale, and you're going to have to put the bumper to him, son. You're going to have to get number one.
Nah, that's how I ended up hating Dale Earnhardt. I was a big Taylor Labonte fan, so when Dale wrecked him at Bristol, that sealed his fate for me. So I can't do it to Moldy tonight.
Alrighty, well, good job tonight. Had a really good car. We really thought you was going to have a chance to win that one. Come up a little bit short, but good job in the Freedom 100 tonight, Withers.
Thanks, man. No problem. Appreciate the host.
On to tonight's race winner after what was a very silly 100 laps. Noah Belleville, no stranger to victory lane, but in tonight's Veterans Day ARCS Street Stock Freedom 100, you will take the cake and you will take the prize of $0.00 home. How was your race?
Yeah, no, it's fun. Me and Connor had some good battles. It was nice to fight with Withers there, and man, when he did get underneath me those couple times, I thought he'd probably run me up the track a little bit, try and take it, but he didn't, and finished P2. But I guess that's what he gets for being a Terry Labonte fan.
Well, we're gonna let you two guys fight that out here. I think we have had enough public fun for one evening, so we're gonna put this one to bed. Fans at home, if you enjoyed any of this, thank you so much for indulging us while we screw around and have a good time. But we're gonna get to some real racing Monday night here. ENEA brings the next gen cars to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and then Thursday Night Thunder goes to Atlanta. Next Thursday night, the Thursday before Thanksgiving. So do tune in for that. We are going to have some fun there too, but it's actually going to be structured racing, not just a bunch of kids and grown kids screwing around at Bristol with street stocks. But we do hope that you'll join us for that. And until that next race, stay safe, take care of each other, and we will see